Alright, welcome to episode 22 of History Rewritten. Last time we had loads of wars. That was basically the main thing about last time. We had a war two wars in Britain. So we had one in Scotland and one in Wales. We had another war but I'm not good at remembering this stuff. War with the yellow team, and there was a fourth war that probably wasn't very important. Oh yeah, it was the one right at the end, the green team declaring war in the pink country. So now the green team is reasonably stronger, however they're not up to their old strength as the old Empire days. That Empire wasn't very strong either. Anyway, we're going to be continuing with another war, and this war is one you might not expect in terms of the opponents on each side, and that is because it is a war between the red team and the orange team. So, some orange team dudes said some not nice stuff to the red country. They're kind of like, tell you what, we don't like you. Nobody else really likes you very much. We're going to come and take you down. So they go and do that. They send a load of boats to the southern part. Britain rules the waves, guys. No, America does. Anyway, Britain will be sending some troops into the southern area, and they try and make a landing towards the capital. However, that's a bit underestimating the Irish a bit. So they go further up north because they're easily repelled down by the capital. So they make a landing here. People from the south are going to try and incur into this region. However, the British have made it into these inner regions of the Irish countries, and although the northern one, there's a lot more ditches in the northern one than there are here. So this one is significantly swampier, which proves to be a problem. Britain will, after some pretty intense fighting, manage to split up the Irish country into two parts, and with this northern part separated, Ireland, the green one, will be declaring war, so they move in very quickly and easily take this major city before taking the English managed to take this province, and now the green Irish country is also helping, although they're not really fighting for gain down here. However, they managed to take more provinces, and then another split is created down in the south. So they managed to split these two areas and then take down a major city and then the capital. I mean, the orange team, they fought bravely. They kept on fighting until the end. However, they did not win in this war. And let's have a look at that peace treaty. Is this the right colour for Ireland? No. Oh, damn. Oh, it's not that bad. There's a pretty big war I want to have soon. It's just, I don't know when I want to do it, because it's going to be sad. But there's quite a few large wars we've got on the horizon, so that's exciting. Anyway, Ireland has this entire large peninsula bit, and as for the rest of the Orange country, it will all be annexed into the British Empire. No, it's only the English Empire, and it's not even an empire yet, really. You just have some overseas holdings in Ireland now, so that's new. We'll see what happens with this, but there you go. First annexation of the day. I think the Orange country's been around for a reasonably long time. They've been around for a while, but not too long. Anyway, yep. New borders of the British Isles. There are only 3 countries left now. How many can we take it down to? 0. Just nuke the entire British Isles. Please don't. Please don't. I like existing. Anyway, the Scottish. Let's go and have a look at what they're doing. Because they decided to follow people. They followed the Norwegians to Greenland, and this time they're going to be following the Irish to Newfoundland. So, yeah, the Irish are going to be a bit annoyed by this. As the Scottish successfully make a landing in this eastern part of the island, and this is now a new Scottish colony. The Irish are a bit like, did we not just say this is our island? The Scottish say, I don't know how you say that. You just say, let's share the island with everyone else. Anyway, so now there are 2 people colonizing a tiny island of Newfoundland, where there is barely anything to offer, but they do not care. I'm just going to put a Scottish major city down here, and let's put it right here. That looks like a pretty defensible position, and that's important at this point in time. However, that's not the only colonial countries that will be going to America today, because we have more. And the first one of those is the Norwegian country. They are making a small expedition. They're kind of curious, and they want to get in on the trade that the Breton nation has. So they will be sending an expedition down to the Bahamas, and they're making a colony in the Bahamas. Yes, we have Norwegian Bahamas at the moment. I was kind of wondering whether the best way of drawing this out would be... Would that be a best way of drawing it? Can I do this? I could. It's an idea. It is an idea. That's a pretty good point. They might just draw this. You know what? Don't worry about that bit over there. And then, yeah. What happened? There we go. Oh, what the heck. Anyway, yep, so this is when these island countries eventually get independence, because yes, I will make sure the island countries get representation in this, like Oceania and stuff. Because that'll be fun. I'm going to draw their borders like this. I'm not sure it's going to look good, but you can see on the map. That looks hideous. Oh, I don't like it. I have to redraw this at some point. Just made it part of the ocean disappear. Anyway, I will redraw the southern bit. That is annoying. I don't know. We'll look at the idea after the episode. However, yeah, this just makes it more visible. I think. So you're like, well, we know the Norwegians are down there. I think when or if the Azores get independence from the purple country, well, this really does not look good. I hate to just point it out. It really does look horrific. I'll tell you what, we're just going to get rid of all of this. Right, so I've changed my mind, which is not going to do that, because that looks disgusting. Instead, we'll do it in a different way. I don't think this looks any better. I'll have to look good when we do it for real. Anyway, the point is, the Norwegians make a colony in the Bahamas. It's a pretty large colony. They take a numerous amount of these islands. They take a lot of them. And this is all now in the Norwegian Empire. So there you go. Colonial Norway, and the Bretons are going to quickly snatch up some of these northern islands so that Norway cannot take them because on the game. You're not meant to be down here. Anyway, our next country arriving in America will be England. So I don't know what this peninsula is called. I want to say it's New York Peninsula, but I think this is the New Jersey bit. Isn't Jersey like here? It's something like that. Anyway, New York's up here or something, isn't it? It's about right. I don't know, so the English are going to take this entire bit over here, and that is now our next country in America. However, the fun doesn't end there. As, you know, there's the British, English bit of the command. So our next country, that being the Terracotta Nation, will be joining the colonial stuff. Now these countries, they were pretty near to the Breton one, and they're kind of going, oh, we'd like your best boat, you know, your fastest, longest distance travelling boat, please. They're like, you wouldn't take this back to your country, then get a load of people to replicate it, make loads of these, and then take them all to America and start colonizing the continent we found. I was like, no, we'd never do that. So they go back and do that. But yeah, so the Terracotta Nation, they are going to do something different. So these guys, Ireland, this guy was like, oh, let's see what's out here. Then, yeah, And for England, they just kind of went for a look. They're like, I don't know. There's probably something connecting this bit and this bit. Well, they've worked out there's an island, so maybe not. England goes there anyway, and they're lucky. However, the Terracotta Nation will be playing it more safe, so they come in and get to Florida, and land here, and they go sailing around this bit, completely miss Cuba, and land in Louisiana. Sorry. We have Terracotta Nation making their colony over here. I think we're going to have one more country, and this country, they kind of figured it out, basically. They made some pretty nice boats, because they do a lot of sailing just around, and this is the Granadan country. Now you think about it, they have coast on the Mediterranean, and all this stuff. So their boats are just going absolutely everywhere. And although, those people do trade from all this stuff around Europe, these guys do an awful lot of it, because you're actually bound to pass this country every time that you go through here and here and here. So if they've got stocks and stocks and stocks and stocks of stuff, they're going to make loads of money. So the Granadan country has good enough boats that after a bit of looking at the Breton ships, they work out how to do it. And they too go down to America. So they will be making their landing. And the remaining part of the... oh no. In the Bahamas. Grenada... give me a sec. 73... 166... and finally 45. Right, so Grenada are making their landing in these few last islands in the Bahamas. They're probably interacting with Norway for like one of the first... well, no. But it's like, oh my god, we share a border now. Norway and southern Spain. And then they're going to do a bit more sailing and discover the island of Cuba. So they've arrived here now. And there's a lot of America getting discovered at this point. So this is our new borders of the USA. No, North America. Forgot about Newfoundland there for a second. Actually, also Cuba's not in the USA. Not anymore. 1898, war with the Spanish, where they annexed Cuba as a protectorate. That was interesting. And then the Cubans went, let's go with the Russians. And they became communist. And there's the entire Cuban Missile Crisis. So it's a load of fun. Anyway, that's our colonialism for America for today. However, let's have a look at somewhere else in the world where there's more colonialism. And that is the Indian Ocean. So the Lime Team, they've been doing a lot of colonization recently. And they're going to be continuing colonizing East Africa. So they go around... no. They go around this part, they get around to this island, and they expand slightly further into the interior of Tanzania. So although there's not a load of people trading with this one, and of course India is significantly like modern day China in that they're an export based country. Yeah, they're getting loads of resources that not everyone else has in this area, so it's pretty profitable for them. So, large Indian colony down here in Africa. Speaking of another African country, the Blue Team will be doing some expansion around this area. So, their main trading partner is the Lime Team. They like having coastal trade with the Lime Team, so they'll be taking more of this area. And they are now a very large country. They recently had a huge breakaway with the Somaliland Ethiopia country. The Somaliland Eritrea country, I mean. However, they're trying to rebuild from that painful instance. I need to take a load of stuff from the recent division of that bit over there. Do you know what that is? I think it's Ethiopia at the moment. Or South Sudan or something. In the modern day. Anyway, that's not India's only colony. And the Indians are going to do more stuff now in Southeast Asia. So, they'll be continuing their colonization of Malaysia. So they go around here. Sumatra will see more colonization. and there's more connection between areas of this empire and this colony, I mean. Just so that I can click on it all at once. That's the entire reason. No, it's because it's being more realistic. They've probably realized Borneo exists now, however, they're not very motivated to go to Borneo, because it's a jungle, and they've got enough jungle at home, in Sumatra, probably in Tanzania as well. Everywhere they go is jungle. You know, if they were to attack Bangladesh, I want to call it Bengal, because Bengal sounds cool. Bengal tigers. Like, even the people in Bangladesh, they went, oh, we're going to be called Bangladeshi people. And that we're going to be Bengali people, because that sounds cool. So, yeah, there are our new Southeast Asia borders. Let's go do some stuff in Eastern Europe, because that's basically the same climate. These countries are going to be doing some more expansion. You know, the Druidic country is kind of realizing that they need to get back on being a country. This means some reforms in the country at the moment. It's probably not good. It's probably like really savage reforms. However, they're making their way towards being more of a proper functioning state. I mean, they want a functioning country. However, they're modernizing, and that's a good idea. Well, they're modernizing. It's like the 1500s, the early 1500s at the moment. Think about it. In the early 1500s, they were in America. It was 1513. The capital of Brazil became that place beginning with a B. Bahia. There you go. Bahia's an unfortunate history. From what I can remember, it's not all positive. Is that the right green? It is? Oh, that's very lucky. Anyway, so more expansion for these guys, and they've reminded me of something else I was going to do today, and then completely forgot about. They've got, to be honest, not bad borders for those guys. New Zealand again. But yeah, all this should be independent in the future, so I'm excited to have a load of tiny island countries. But I think I will have to use the black border thing, you know, like the big black lines, for ensuring areas of control for those islands, just because otherwise it's really tiny dots and I'll just completely forget about it. So, you know, that's what we're going to have to do there. Why couldn't all the islands just be like the Solomon Islands, New Caledonia, Fiji? They're just nice sized islands, but instead you've got Nauru and all that stuff. Anyway, we're going to be staying in India, because India is making an invasion of Iran. Iran's been here for episode 4, episode 5, something like that. About 17 episodes probably. And the Indians will be attacking their nation. So invasion will be led into the southern region quite quickly. And they managed to take this major city with ease. There are only 3 major cities in the Iranian country at the moment, and they lost a lot to the red team, to the Indian country, to the green team. They had a pretty large country before that fell apart. Even this country's got a lot of their cities. So, yeah. But that's not the only spot the Indians make an invasion, because for the rest of the country, they'll be continuing to invade, and a huge front line manifests along here. Now, this weird colour, this one, they're not invading the Iranian country because they kind of had a friendship with them. You know, they're both Iranian states. They're right in the middle of a load of aggressive countries. And this one even more so, because it looks highly possible the Lime Team will be right on their border very soon. So yeah, and the Lime Team has no struggle encircling the capital, and then within like 3 days, probably less than that, about a day and a half, they take the capital. You know, it's a pretty old city, so it's got good fortifications and stuff. But the Lime Team is very advanced, and their technology is right up there with the Red Team. They've developed their own muskets now. You know, the Sludge Team had some muskets, the Lime Team have their own sort, and they are now sending those round to the Asian side of the world. Because of course, the Sludge Team does not trade for the Asian world, because they're stuck in the Baltic. It's hard for them to even trade with the Mediterranean. They do a lot of their trade by land instead of by boat. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. Also on the great European plain, so it probably wouldn't be that hard for a load of countries to invade them. However, what's the likelihood that that happens? Anyway, yep, full annexation. The Lime team is now even bigger. This is a scary looking Lime team. However, the people living in this land, their life's probably better. Although they've been annexed by an aggressive country, your life is probably better under the Lime team. It's a bit like the Roman Empire. I was like, the Celts didn't enjoy being taken by the Roman Empire. However, they probably had living standards, and if we look back, there's a lot of things we need to be grateful for the Roman Empire for doing for us, including fortifications of our cities in southeastern, actually not just generally a lot of our cities, like Lincolnshire, or like Lincoln, I mean, there are lots of Roman walls, and also other places like Eastbourne, London, Norfolk, probably some cool ones. I don't know. I'm just naming random cities at the moment. Anyway, I've been saying this for a long time. Japan, they're breaking away. So, the Japanese Revolution will be starting. Actually, Japan doesn't have that many cities. But the revolution will be starting up here in the northern part. Because there's collaboration between people who want to break away in the Ceylonese territory and within the Korean territory. They're kind of working together. You've got lots of voices combined, although there's some stuff in the south. Here it's more like a combination thing. Not sure if that entirely makes sense. However, you have this big region of the Korean territory breaking away, and it's not too long before a Ceylonese area joins in as well. So this Kirby Peninsula also claims independence. The Japanese militia will get the jump on the Koreans, and there's not much on the eastern coast because they don't know. It's a load of ocean. There's, I suppose, fishermen. However, lots of them are pro-independent. So as they approach this city, it does start to get more populated. However, for these Pacific areas, it's really easy for these militias to just gather a load of people and keep on pushing. So, yeah. Eventually the Korean military will arrive to try and stop this. However, the Japanese have a lot of population. The Koreans didn't expect there to be this many Japanese people in revolt. However, of course, they have been gathering more and more people throughout their rebellion. However, yeah, the Koreans will be able to push them back significantly because the Korean military is pretty strong. It's like untested, but it is strong. So that's good. But Japan's not falling apart yet. And this push continues as the Koreans manage to push the Japanese out of this entire central area. However, the Japanese in the north have more success because these colonies are significantly weaker. Who goes up here to trade with Scotland other than Korea? And the Japanese manage to split apart this entire area and then make a push towards this city and eventually take it. However, this one is really well defended, so there's a huge load of fighting that's going on here, lots of skirmishing and stuff. The Koreans do take this island, however they're not really bothered with these islands very much. Anyway, Korea is managing to push even further into Japanese territory, and it looks like the southern Japanese might just completely fall over to the Korean military. Korean morale is pretty high until more people decide to break away. So a new revolt appears in the south, so Southern Island breaks away. It's not too long before this island also breaks away. And then this entire southern region decides to join the rebellion too. And it's not looking good for Korea, because although they tried to make some naval invasions, all the ports are really well defended because they made them like that. because you know they're pretty scared of the Chinese nations invading and trying to take their stuff, because that's something they'd like to do. Because currently it's not looking good for Korea, as the Japanese front in the north expands slightly. And now they're fighting a two-front war. The people are pretty trapped in these cities. They end up leaving this city as the siege begins, and the Japanese actually manage to take the city pretty quickly. The west coast falls, the east coast falls down, and yeah, it's not looking good. Another rebellion is going to break out in this area over here of the country, and now they've just got this tiny bit that they're defending from the Japanese. Up in the north, the Japanese have managed to take out this area, and they are trying to make some landings in Sakhalin, in which they fail, to be honest. Yeah, there's a big old major city down here. This is a pretty early Sakhalinese major city, I think. So it's quite well defended. However, the Japanese are not stupid, so they managed to make a landing in the eastern peninsula over here in Sakhalin. However, although they do it, it doesn't last that long, and pretty quickly the Sakhalinese managed to retake it. However, in the south, the Koreans surrendered to the rebellion, because there's even Koreans within Korea now who are rebelling, and although most of them are going like, end the war, taxes aren't fun, we're making a lot less money because we don't have Japan, some people are actually in support of Japanese independence because they want to move there and see their families or whatever. They want Japanese independence. So eventually it will be achieved, and the two sides will agree to peace. So let's have a look at that peace treaty, because there are multiple different parties who wanted this. So it's not just going to be one big country. I'm just trying to get bearings. I'm not entirely sure, because I'll be colouring these states in not too long. I'm just trying to get what it will look like. Let's do this. This is country number 1. This is the Southern Rebellion. They're going to annex all of this stuff. And then there will be a Central and a Northern Rebellion. So, the Central Rebellion is the one that occurred pretty late into the thing. You know, just as they were trying to take this area, a new rebellion occurred. These people were kind of like, is this going to be a good idea? You know, we probably won't make that much money if we try and break away from this country. It's going to really hurt our economy. But eventually, well, we've got to side with this, because otherwise we're going to just get demolished and killed, probably. Because the Japanese haven't really been doing this in the most humane ways. However, you know, it's kind of overlooked by the Japanese rebels. They're like, it's fine, don't worry about it. What's done is done. What? Right, so this northern area is going to be a new country. Over here. And then we have a new state appearing on the northern island of Japan. So, there you go, 4 new Japanese countries, pretty exciting. Got boom. This one. Boom. This one. And we're going to need one final colour. What colours don't we have in this area? Don't have an orange. That's a pretty good point. This is kind of orange. Purple we kind of have. We can add a purple. Might go for orange though. I quite like orange. Let's go brown. We've got a lot of browns anyway. Let's go for something like... no, let's not. This is thrilling stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to decide on a colour to choose to colour this country. However, I'm completely indecisive with this. So I'm going to make it this greenish colour. So, there you go. Let's do capital cities. most of these countries only have 2 major cities, except for the Civilisation, or ex-Civilisation one, which has 3. So these guys will put their capital right by the Korean thing. You know, the Koreans are going to have to trade with these guys, because they will. That's just how it is. These guys will put their capital over here. This Japanese country will have theirs right by this colonies bit. And as for these guys, they're going to have to recolor their capitals purple so you can properly see them. So can I draw that in properly? And which one do you want your capital to be? Probably the one by the east coast, west coast. Oh, this one right here. Alright. There you go, the border looks significantly different, and these colonies are allowed to keep these islands over here, not these ones, these ones. That's pretty good for them, because they were kind of worried that the Japanese would go to Kamchatka and take away their Kamchatkan stuff, because they liked having this. And they like it so much, they're going to be expanding it slightly. So yeah, go Scarlet. I like these guys. Although this territory is bringing them literally no money, they're just interested in what's around here. And they explored a significant amount of the Kamchatka Peninsula. I mean, just imagine being these guys. They're all... I might have no idea what religion the East Asians are. That's a good question. Probably like the western side of this, the green team religion. Maybe not that much of it, you know, it has fallen further away from the green team. I don't know, that's an interesting idea. Anyway, let's have a look, because the grey team will actually be expanding. They've barely done anything since they got their independence, so finally we're going to have them do some stuff. So they expand a lot into this area in Manchuria, I believe. So yeah, this has crippled their country economically for the next 15 years. They're not going to be recovering from the deep recession for a very, very long time. However, they've got land, and land is fun. So they're alright with this. The government is, the people are not. They are currently being heavily taxed. There you go. Let's do some more expansion in Central Asia. Because, you know, why not? So we're going to have numerous countries doing this expansion. We have the land team taking all of... Let's redraw that. That's pretty bad looking. Taking all of this. The land team allied country will be taking... Actually, no, they won't. It'll be first of all these guys. Then the country who's allied to the land team is taking all of this. Next up will be the blue country. Takes all of this area. Finally, the yellow country will take some stuff. And beyond there, it's going to be pretty tricky. And this one's already, it's pretty detached from this region. You know, if you look at it, major cities are here. There's barely anything going on down here. These people are left to their own devices. It's a very autonomous region down there. So, if they expanded that, it might be pretty dangerous. And then we're also going to the Chinese expanding out here. And the other Chinese as well. Let's get them. Oh, these borders then. Oh, I'm good. Why? That's alright. How much do these guys expand? A slight bit along there. Right, this is going to take absolutely forever. However, it's pretty major in some stuff. And also we have this bit. Right here. So let's talk about that in a second. This video is pretty much at the end of where it ends, I think. we're just going to do this as our last thing because Central Asia, probably expanding into it too quickly, to be honest, but who cares? Not me. Well, actually I probably do. Oh, who cares? I'm bad at this. I'm just saying whatever comes into my mind. That is my entire thought process. I have absolutely no script or clue what I'm going to be saying. I do know what I'm doing though. That is something. I do have a plan for each of the episodes. It's like stuff. Anyway, China looks sufficiently ugly at the moment. That's great. Next up we have South China doing some stuff. So there you go for those guys. Move along to the lime team just before their colour goes off. Do you know they have 10 colours on the bottom bit, and that's really irritating. Just remembered I need to save the Japanese country's colours. So that's pretty handy. Lime team, boom. And there you go. Bam. Really good. Bam. Alright, there you go. Weird random green coloured nation doing some stuff. What colour are you guys? $70? No, I think I'm just... This is going to take much longer than I expected. Anyway, these guys... I quite like this country, to be honest. I didn't like them at the start, when they first made. However, they have grown on me like a planet. I don't know, that's kind of random. Green to 14, that's what I got for that. Assume I mean that. There's so many Central Asian countries now. It's weird. They all just popped up. I wish I had more wars in Central Asia. That's one thing I think I'm doing wrong. There should be more wars in this area. This blue one, has it? No, it's not always been here. I just completely forget which colour the blue country was. I think that's... Actually, wait, no. Yes. Yeah. Yes. This is thrilling stuff. I'm annoyed. Is that right? It is. Oh, that's amazing. No, that's cool. Anyway, these guys, although they have very few major cities and they're very, very poor, they will be expanding in this area. So, all of these countries just putting themselves in massive recessions every single time they do this. If you're Central Asian, don't expand until it's been like a few hundred years. Because although they've got lots of trade going through the Silk Road, it's still not entirely up to scratch yet. Second year. No, that's... No, I think it must be this. It's not. No, it's Spain. No, who really minds if we do it slightly differently? I don't know. I don't even remember what this colour was. I'm getting annoyed at that. What were you? Who are you? Where did you come from? What is this? Beige? No. Who knows? Who knows? Yellow to 85, yep. I know now. I was looking in the wrong place. I really need to get a better way of doing this. Thing is, you can't save them across. So it's really irritating. However, the yellow country, who is very split. I think they've been here since Civilisation rebelled, though. Just 2 more bits. This brownish country, coloured country, they've not been here for very long. They're very new. Like dark yellow to 35 to 30. That's simple enough. And I just destroyed their border. That's useful. They're probably not going to be doing this very much because it's really painful in your economy to do this. Anyway, and finally we're going to have one new country appearing over here. And that country will be... it could be this guy. Let's have it. Look at this. Alright. New Central Asian state popped up. It is inspiring some rebellions throughout the rest of this area. So we might see that next time, as this guy could be pretty destructive in Central Asia. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next time. Have a nice rest of your day. That's about it. Thank you.